Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast. How you doing? Shout it out. Ooh, ooh. And here's Wendy. Just kidding. Here's Nelly at the Nellyville, the podcast. Can we get it out? Do we know the show? Anyways, if this is your first time listening, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are longtime listeners, welcome back. So glad to have you back. Hope all is well. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. This is great. You guys, wonderful episode. Why? See, it's season 8, episode 10. We have done 10 more episodes locked into the vault. Hello, can you believe it? Won't he do it? God is good. I'm out here creating the content for the children, okay? I will pat myself on the back. Anyways, normally we're going to do it a little differently, okay? Y'all know normally I do 10 episodes a season, and then I take a little break, and then I come back. But you know what? I'm really in the groove. I'm really feeling it. I'm really enjoying it. The juice, the tea, the experiences, it's all rolling in. And, that last hiatus I took, well, it was really a hiatus. Normally I try to do like a couple week break or something like that. But look, hey, life, right? So in the spirit of life, maybe, possibly, potentially happening again or whatever, you never know. I'm just going to keep going. So, it's just great to spend time with you guys. You know what I mean? So anyways, with all that being said, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. I'm humble. Be humble. Kendrick Lamar. Anyways, so let's just jump right into the tea. So yeah, Billie Eilish. We're going to start with her today. Okay? We know Billie. Great artist. Great music. She truly has left a staple in the music industry and in pop culture. I would say that the young lady has really paid her dues. She's really proved herself. She's really out here dipping and doing it, and has been dipping and doing it for several years now. So, kudos to that. I just want to go on record of saying that. Now, I don't necessarily have her in rotation. There's some Billie songs that I like. But honestly, when she first came out, she kind of scared me. She just got a vibe. She just kind of, I'm more of a Sabrina Carpenter, bubbly, poppy, girly type of tease. You know what I mean? So, but that's just my personal taste. I'm not knocking her artistry. That cannot be denied. Beautiful voice. Great songs. Wonderful songwriter. All that. Anyways, I'm bringing her up because, the girlies are mad. So I don't know if you've heard, but so she had a show in Dublin, right? And she said something that kind of has rubbed people the wrong way. And some people are calling her racist. I would also like to go on record of saying, I do not think that this girl's racist. I don't think that she really had malicious intent of what she said. And if you don't know what she said, in a nutshell, she's in Dublin, and you know how people perform at the concerts, and then kind of in between songs, they have a little bit of banter, a little talk with the audience, a little interaction, right? And she said something basically along the lines of, because, she's Irish, right? And so she says on stage, she was like, it's so great to be here, being in touch with my roots, and to be surrounded by people that look like me. Now, inherently, I think I know what she was trying to say. Unfortunately, however, in this political comment, it was tone deaf. So, yes, we all like to be in spaces where we are amongst, people who have shared culture, shared demographics, shared physical features, a sense of camaraderie and community. That's human nature, especially if you are from or grow up in a country where maybe your bloodlines or lineage, they're not from. When you go to the motherland, whatever that motherland may be, or if you're just in a space where you're surrounded by quote unquote your people, I understand, especially in today's age, wanting to acknowledge that. I just think she could have worded it better, because when you say something like, it feels good to be in a place where I'm surrounded by people that look like me. Okay. And disclaimer, look, this podcast is not for education. This podcast is not for news. It's not even current events. This is for entertainment purposes only. So please fact check me. Please do not quote me. Please do not take my word as bond. This is just me sitting down having a kiki with the folk. Okay? What I was going to say was, now, yes, Irish people can sometimes have distinct features, right? But really, honestly, to the general public, at least here in America, for the most part, if you put an Irish person in a room, if you put someone from Italy, from Ireland, from Scotland, from Milan, you're not really going to be able to, they're white. You know what I'm saying? It's not like defined features that you would have, say, if you had a room full of Indian folk, or a room full of Black people, a room full of West Indian people, a room full of people from Kenya or from Nigeria or from. And that's not to say that all Black people look alike. It's to say that there's one specific look for Mexican people, or a lot of cultures have various different features. I'm not saying that, but I have to point this out because, let's be honest, Billie Eilish has a pretty broad fan base. And this is all conjecture. I've never been to one of her shows, but I feel like I'm safe in saying that a majority of her audience already does look like her, whether they are Irish or not. I'm thinking most of her audience is going to be white passing. I don't know that she's selling out fully Black venues, fully Mexican or Latino venues, fully Asian, fully Southeast Asian, spaces. I just, and I could be, maybe I'm wrong. So for you to go out of your way to point out, I'm so glad to be in a space where I'm surrounded by people that look like me, I feel like she was trying too hard to be relatable, because the thing right now, everybody does want to be in their communities. People are trying to be very proud of who they are and where they come from, blah, 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 whatever. So to put emphasis on, I'm glad to be surrounded by people that look like me, I can see how that's a slap in the face to those who do not look like you, who support you and who love you. Now, also, on the other hand, with that being said, I think that most of the people who have issue with this are not actually fans of hers. There is a little bit of sensitivity going on here. Had this girl said the same thing 20, 30 years ago, even 10 years ago, it probably would have landed differently. But we already have so much focus and divide in the world, and specifically in this country. And for you to point out, I love being in places where everyone looks like me. Time and place, you just got to pick your words and your vocabulary just a little more particularly. Now, I think that where she messed up and why it even came out that way, I think that she was coming from a place of, she wanted to sound like those people who do not see themselves all the time. If you go somewhere and it is an Asian artist and they say, "Oh, it's so nice to be in a place where, everyone looks like me." If you hear a black person say it, if you hear a Latino person say it, it's going to hit a little differently because they are a minority, depending on where you are, right? So for you as a white woman, it just, but look, who's to say she has every right to be proud of who you are. I'm not saying that white people should be ashamed or should not embrace their culture, especially American people, American white people. I implore you because you don't have a whole lot of American history or American culture to be proud of. There is some. I know people always say, well, what is white American culture? Y'all have no culture. I don't know that that's fair to say. Is it as rich as some other cultures that are here? No. So therefore, white people in America specifically, get in touch with your heritage, but just be mindful of how you are going to relate that, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation like Billie. But anyways, enough on her. Billie, love you so much, girl. You'll come out on top. It'll be fine. I know they said she lost 9 million listeners on Spotify. I did not fact check that. I saw a headline or something. That is a lot, but she'll be okay. She'll bounce back, girl. A couple news cycles people will forget. Anyways, let's move right along. Chappell Roan. I promise this whole podcast isn't going to be about pop stars, but it's just, hey, it's how the cards landed. Here goes Chappell Roan. Now, lovely voice, great songs, but I have a hard time believing that she likes doing what she does. This Chappell Roan has come out and said that it is going to be at least another 5 years before she comes out with another album, because she just doesn't work that way. She can't just turn it on. Even if she was in a studio day after day, 24/7, it just wouldn't work like that. It's going to be at least another 5 years. This on top of her last album, her first album, came out in 2023. So, here's the thing. These young girls, these young pop stars, these young pop artists, they do not have that same hunger. They're not hungry. I'm not convinced that they are hungry. I'm sorry. I do like that the music industry has changed in the sense of artists are not in such a slavery deal like they used to be in. And I hate to complain, but that's essentially what it was. And part of the reason why artists used to crank out albums so quickly like that, back to back to back, is because these record companies, they got to get their cut of the pie first. They would give these extreme advances, millions of dollars in advances to these artists, and then what they make off of those album sales, and sometimes with the touring, and sometimes even with the merch, all of the money that's being made goes to the record company first. The record company is basically a bank, right? They're giving you a loan. So, of course, as an artist, you're going to want to strike while the iron is hot, so you can hurry up and make the money to hurry up and pay the record label back for the advance, so that then you can actually get a piece of the pie and a profit before your yesterday's news. Okay? So I'm glad that, that she even has a kind of record deal or music set up to where she can take this long to put out an album if that's what she wants to do. But it just seems like everything I see about her, it seems like she just doesn't like any part of it. She's already told the fans, don't talk to me, don't touch me, I don't want to take a picture with you, I hardly even like you. Okay, fine, whatever. She doesn't really like to perform. She doesn't like touring. She doesn't like people. She doesn't want to get in the studio and write music. She says she can't turn it on and off. I mean, okay. Why are we pursuing music? If you just want to have creative expression, Baby, go in your bedroom, get you a little guitar, get you a microphone, get you some headphones, jam out in your room or in your garage, your basement. No one's forcing you, Chapel, to entertain the masses. If you don't want this, then go sit down. Oh, and then she says, and my stuff won't be on social media. Because she got rid of all of her socials, right? And she's like, well, and when it does come out, it's not gonna be for the TikTok people. It's not gonna be for the socials. I'm just gonna come out with, I'm like, girl, child, anyways, can't be bothered. Look, chap, I wish you well, but you are not a Rihanna. You're not an Ariana. You are not a Mariah, a Whitney. You are not these people. When Rihanna first came out, she came out with album after album after like, this is why Rihanna can go sit down and she could come out with an album tomorrow and blah blah blah. Which, look, if you're a Rihanna fan, please let it go. She's done with music. She's not coming back. If she comes back, I will eat this whole cell phone, okay? I will put mustard on it, and I will eat this phone piece by piece. That will be my YouTube video if Rihanna ever comes out with more music, okay? You can timestamp this. You can hold me to my word. Let it go, okay? But Rihanna has given us enough, okay? I'm not saying that you gotta run yourself into the ground, but I mean, don't be out here like you have really earned to sit down like that. When you got people like Sabrina Carpenter, who's put out like 6 or 7 albums before she even hit it big. And now is about to come out with another one. But see, what's really gagging me is Chapel has come out, like, since that first album, I think she's come out with like 3 or 4 new singles. Baby, if you don't take them 3 or 4 singles, make 3 or 4 more songs and come out with a cute little album and call it a damn day. Not every project has to be this larger than life, world changing type of thing. Sometimes it's okay to just give your fans a little snack. Now, I'm not saying put out garbage, but this life, it does not last. And the way technology and just society moves so quickly, you are truly taking this for granted. Now, look, do I think she's taking an opportunity away from someone else? No, I don't. Because I feel like what's for you is for you, and there's space for everyone. But this is a very, very young person that we are talking about here. And I would hate for her to wake up one day and be like, damn, I should have struck while the iron was hot. Because Chapel fans, I don't know how much more abuse y'all are willing to take. But that relationship that y'all had, that parasocial relationship that you have with Chapel, baby, it is giving toxic, abusive relationship. Chapel, baby, good luck to you. Good luck. Beautiful voice, but girl, I would like to shift focus to a pop star, an artiste, who is a blueprint. Can we shift to Miley for a second? Hannah Montana will be 20 years old next year. Let that sink in. Hannah Montana will be 20 years old. And Miley has come out and said that she wants to do something special for that 20th anniversary in 2026. Am I losing my mind? Yes. If there is a concert, will I be there scream crying? Mind your business. Okay? Will I be all up in there? You bet I will. And if I have it my way, I will be attending the concert or whatever special event she has. I will be attending in Houston and in Louisville. God willing. Okay? It's that serious. But here's the tea. So people have started this rumor. I have not heard Miley say this. But the thing that's going around right now is that she said that the concert is for those people who are 25 plus. Now, I don't think Miley actually said that. However, comma, I don't know that I disagree. Look, Miley has fans of all ages, absolutely. But for the people who really, truly grew up with her, who really were in the moment, the ones of us who in real time were wearing the t-shirts, who had the folders, who had the merch, who had the dolls, the people who stayed up and voted for her to be the special guest in High School Musical. For those of us who were waiting every Friday for the new episodes to come out. Okay? This is for us. We've been through a lot. We're going through a lot. This is our moment. And all we're saying is if you are under 25 and you so-called call yourself a Hannah fan, even though, you know what, Gen Z, some of y'all are Gen Z and y'all kind of grew up with Hannah, but let me tell you something, Gen Z, y'all want to be millennial soul. Y'all kill me because y'all want to be us so bad. Y'all want to be when it's like the fun stuff, y'all want to sit up here and talk about us and all this other kind of stuff, but where it really counts, all of a sudden, well, I'm actually a millennial. Actually, I identify more with the millennial. Sit down. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying you can't come. All I'm saying is if you do come, I don't want to see nobody yawning. There will not be any sitting down. I'm gonna need for you to be singing, screaming, clapping, dancing, okay? I need you to come in your Hannah gear, okay? I'm gonna need for you to have a scarf, those little fashion scarves, okay? I want to see blonde wigs. I want to see something. I want to see y'all break out the Hannah Montana t-shirts, the watches, the earrings. I want to. Don't come in there being boring, okay? Don't come in there fighting. Because if you get the show that I go to shut down, this is going to be more than just the people fighting on the 6 o'clock news. That's all I'm saying. Okay? This is not a threat. I'm just saying that this is serious for us. This is not just some regular show. This is a very big deal. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But look, all in good fun. So anyways, everybody's making all the videos like, yeah, this is for the 25 plus and and then somebody said, really honestly, if birth year doesn't start with a 19 something, then you can't come. And really, if your birthday don't start with a 19 something, yeah. I don't know. I love saying this. Don't ruin it. Y'all be wanting to be us so y'all be wanting to be us so bad. But it's all fun. It's all in good games. But the little young people though, they're really bad. They were like, but we grew up with it too, and we watch reruns. I don't care. Okay, I watch reruns of Full House. Okay. It's not the same thing. We're all still watching reruns of Full House and Family Matters and Martin and Living Single. Okay? Okay. Yes, I get it. It's not Hannah Montana. Okay? So I spoke my piece on that. Let's move on. All right, so I think we're done with pop stars. The next thing I want to say though, have y'all seen this? This is kind of a hard left, but look. Have y'all seen these videos of these people putting duct tape on planes? I know I jumped ship. I know this was a hard left, but I had to ask because I've seen more videos than I'm comfortable with. Now, they say that it's not regular duct tape. It's a special aerodynamic, high grade, bippity boppity boo type. I don't care. If we are taping planes together in 2025, in this climate change, heat-induced turbulence, and we're taping stuff together, I just don't need to know about it. I don't know how common it is. I don't know if it's okay. It does not sound okay. It sounds very dangerous. I don't like it. But what's more bothersome is that they are letting people see this. If it's perfectly safe and people have been doing it for years, then by all means, keep doing that. But people have true life flight anxiety, and it's already a lot going on. The airport is stressful enough. If you have to put the tape on the planes, can y'all go take that somewhere else? The passengers do not want to look out of their window and see you duct taping anything on that plane. I'm sorry, I feel like that's the least that we can do. Somebody said that they were at their gate, they were about to board, and then the announcer came on and said, "Oh, we're not gonna board. The thingy fell off." The thingy fell. What? The thingy fell off? And then like 30 minutes later, they came back and was like, "Oh, never mind." No. Whoa, baby, whoa. How you gonna say the thingy fell off? And they say, "Oops, never mind." What thingy fell off? Was it a thing? Was it a screw from the beverage cart? Or was it a wheel? What? I think I don't know how I feel about flying anymore. I don't know how I feel about it. Please, airlines, do better. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We need to do a whole episode about planes and these airports. It's getting, I don't know. We need to pass some legislation or something. It's getting real crazy up out of here. Enough on that. Somebody's probably listening to this on a plane right now. I didn't mean to scare you. You're okay. You're gonna make it safely. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's move on, shall we? Now check this out. Have y'all heard about this story? Now let me know what y'all think about this. So there was a mother who got $50,000 deposited into her bank account because the father of her child owed child support back pay, right? And the reason why she got this $50,000 is because the mother of the father, so the child's grandmother, passed away, unfortunately. And the grandmother left $50,000 to her son, who is the deadbeat dad. And because the deadbeat dad owed back pay, they just immediately gave that $50,000 to the mother. Man, look, I really would love to hear how I want to know. Now, the child deserved the money. Okay? Now, I hate that for the son, you lost your mother and then you didn't have this money. I feel sorry for that man because I'm sure it's a double whammy, but also look, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it. Because it seemed like he hadn't paid in years. He hadn't paid in years if you racked up, $50,000 going off of the payment. Now, some people get a whole lot of money, but we're not talking about athletes or people who have really, really high paying careers and jobs and stuff or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. That's just really, I guess, because some people were like, well, most people were like, hey, you owed it, she got it, oh well, too bad. Do y'all think that she should give some of it to the father? Even though, I don't know. Look, raising kids and stuff is expensive, and that's not fair for one parent to take on the full burden of taking care of the child. If you brought a child in this world, you need to take care of it. Point blank, period. No, nobody's arguing or disputing that. But from a spiritual, biblical standpoint, now, obviously, this is coming from somebody who does not have children, and obviously is not raising one by themselves. No, I have not personally gone through the pain and suffering. or the emotional distress, the financial distress of having a child and no one's helping me. Okay. But as a God-fearing woman, I just wouldn't want to block my blessings. Now, I think that maybe that's the grandmother from the great beyond taking care of her grandbaby and doing what her son didn't do. But the burden shouldn't fall on the grandparents. Grandparents are there as a bonus, as a help. You can't put, the grandparents are allowed to take on as much responsibility as they like. It's not an obligation necessarily, but that's a whole nother thing. I don't know. I think if it were me, it would really, really depend. But I think that under most circumstances, I think I would have to give at least some of that money back to that man. At least offer it. And hopefully he will do the right thing and say, no, just keep it. I want my child to have it. And then at least that way he would have been caught up. I think he would have been all caught up or just about caught up. So it really could have been a blessing for him either way, because if you owe that much, if you go get a job, you're not going to get any of your paycheck. So you might as well just be okay with her keeping all of the money. Then you can go work and make a living and not have your whole paycheck taken away. There's that too. But I don't know. I just don't know how I would feel about having that money. I guess I would just have to pray on it, because I don't know how I feel about. I'm not saying that the mother was rejoicing in the grandmother's passing, but I don't know. It felt a little icky to me, only because the post read as such. At least the beginning of it read something along the lines of, my sister just pulled up in my driveway and said, "Come on, we going to the mall." Apparently, blah 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 blah. The story that I just told y'all, right? I just don't. Now, if I miraculously got $50,000 in my bank, and some bum owed me back child support or whatever, if I got that kind of money, I would be very emotional. I would be very. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? I would be very like, wow, oh my God, just so. But when I called the bank and realized where it came from, I don't know how much time had passed between her figuring out where the money came from and her going to her sister's house saying, "Girl, come outside, we're going to the mall." I don't know if that all happened in the span of 30 minutes, or if she went and grieved and paid her respects and then this was 2-3 months later. I don't know. But I don't think I would be in a headspace to be like, "Come on, girl, let's go spend this money." That seems a little. Even if you go in the shop for the child, that just seems. Honestly, I would do the best. I would keep doing whatever it was I was doing before that 50K showed up, and a large portion of it, I would set them in some kind of a trust fund or savings account, a college account. At 18th birthday account, put it somewhere for the kids, for the money to grow and get some interest, or invested in something for the child to benefit off of. I wouldn't be trying to run somewhere and go get some Nikes. But that's just me. I don't know. But then again, I ain't never had $50,000 pop up in my bank account for no reason. Well, that we're not talking about that. But anyways, I've said too much. I have said too much. Let's move on. I have said too much. Ooh, okay, this is a good one. So this woman, and I'm gonna tell this quick because we're running a little long today, baby. It's the 10th anniversary on BET. I know I sung it wrong, but y'all know what I'm about. So this woman, Okay, so real quick. Okay, boom. This woman's little boy got invited to this 4th of July cookout, right? And the mother of the little boy said, "Yeah, you could come with your son and blah blah blah." So anyway, so the mother shows up with her son to this house, and it's not the house of the lady who invited her; it's the lady's family. So the lady who got invited, she was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna bring this little antipasto salad, right?" So she brought this salad, very nice salad, baby, not very nice, all the nicest meats, she didn't go pick vegetables from her garden and everything. She really hooked it up, and she walked in, and she was like, "Hey, hello, how you doing?" Woo woo woo. They paid this woman dust. So she sits the salad down and everybody's being rude. And then here come this lady coming from outside, was like, "Well, who are you? Just walking somebody's house. You need to introduce yourself." Woo, woo, woo. I know I'm talking about this, but they weren't black. But anyways, so they really hurt this woman's feelings and they made her feel small. Anyways, so the woman who invited her, they were like, "Well, she did speak, and I said that she could come, and she's not a stranger. She just dropped the salad." Anyways, they made this woman cry. And so the girl who invited her and that girl's mother, they felt so bad that they gave her a bag of fireworks, and they were very apologetic and all this other stuff. But anyways, obviously it really hurt this woman. It's embarrassing. You go to somebody's house, you're already nervous, and then they talk about, "Who are you? Why are you all over my crib?" Blah, blah. Anyways, it turned into this big thing, baby. They done found these people. Of course, the internet love to find people and tell people about themselves. And I'm always like, I need to hear both sides of the story. Even though I believe that woman, the way she told the story initially, I felt so bad for her because she was crying. You could tell when a person's feelings are truly, genuinely hurt. But the other lady who actually came in, who was nasty, and her husband was all rude and nasty, the way they did everything but apologize and making a bunch of excuses, and they was being all rude, and I was like, yeah, I obviously wasn't there, so I don't know, but the way y'all talking, the way I could see y'all doing something like that. So just be kind. All that rude nastiness, but you know what? See, that's why I don't be going to people's houses, and that's why I don't be. That's okay. I would have took my little boy. I guess I would have left that salad there. I might have took it depending on how I felt, and I would have moved on too. Poor girl. I hate that. But anyways, now I need to go get me a little antipasto salad, because baby, that look good, y'all. And I bless her heart. I just felt so bad because she went and bought the little tray, and she sat there and cut all this stuff off. Poor thing. Bless her heart. That was y'all. Ooh, Lord. Anyways, more on white people. No, I'm just playing. But no, this next story, I don't know if they were white. They were white passing. They might have been Latino or something. But anyways, did y'all hear about the little boy who the octopus got grabbed onto the little boy's arm, and the little boy had those marks? So have y'all heard about this? So I think it was like the San Antonio Zoo. The little boy, it was like one of those where you could reach in and like touch the animals, but obviously these are wild animals, right? So the little boy pet the octopus, and the octopus latched on and wouldn't let go, and it took some workers. It took them a little bit of time to come over, and the little boy had the suction marks all from his wrist all the way up to like his shoulder, and I think maybe a little bit on his chest. So the little boy was like, "Oh, it's okay. The octopus is still my friend," or whatever, on the news. But the mother was like, "They really need to close that down, and that's not safe, and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, lady, even if you are in a section of a zoo or petting zoo or whatever, where they allow you to touch the animals, they are still animals. Even a domesticated dog or cat or a hamster or whatever, animals are animals. Especially wild animals. You touch at your own risk. Now, this zoo, maybe they might want to put in place some rules. They might want to put some more observers in the area to make sure everyone is safe, to have someone, there to have, a quicker response time, to make sure, the animals are not aggravated, or if they seem antsy. I don't know. You really don't want to take away someone's selling point of their zoo. It's touch at your own risk, people. So of course the mother is being a mother, but put it this way: if I have to lift my child up for them to pet something, you're probably not old enough to pet it. Because I don't know how fast this octopus moved. They don't strike me as cheetahs. So did the little boy let the octopus slime up his arm and then he didn't, but thought that the octopus was just going? I don't know. I just feel like, I think the little boy was like 8 or 9 or something, or 7 or 8 or something. I don't know, but you can't go after no zoo and be like, y'all can't do that, because you weren't watching your son. And plus, like, it's a wild animal. You took that risk. You let your baby pet the wild animal, and then now you're mad because the animal was wild. I don't make it make sense. Make it make sense. Speaking of water life, have y'all seen people get black pools? Like, so, like, in a pool, it's usually like a blue bottom, right? Maybe a gray, but usually it's like blue, right? To give you the essence of like an ocean, of a clear blue ocean. But people are making the bottoms of it black. And I don't know the term, but they're making the pool black. And I'm like, oh, hey, First of all, it looked right scary. It looks scary. I don't like people like, well, you can still see the water's still clear. I don't give a damn. If I'm in Florida or even Texas, some places in Texas, no, I need to be able to see in that. No, hell no. I know most places have enclosures in areas where there is wildlife that likes to hide in water. No, I'm not getting in no black pool. Are you crazy? The mental warfare of that alone. I'm not getting in no pool that's black. Are you? No. That does not speak to me. I don't even think it's that cute. I don't think it's worth it. And plus, if I'm visiting, you got a black pool, I ain't getting in there. I'm not getting in there because I can't see how clean it is. I need to see how clean your pool is. You might know it's clean. Maybe you clean it every day. I'm not getting in no black pool. Absolutely not. And some people like, don't it get hot? It don't heat up more? But I don't know. Some people who have them said it is only a few degrees warmer than another pool. I'm like, y'all must not be in Texas or Florida or Arizona or some damn where it get blickety hot for you to have a blickety black pool. Y'all done made that up. Anyways, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. If I'm getting in a pool, it needs to be blue. I need to see it. I want to smell a little hint of chlorine. Also, baby, don't get in everybody's water and don't go to everybody's water park, okay? Because people don't wash, and that's another story. That's another topic for another podcast. Anyways, I do want to leave you with this. I know, and I might have said this in the beginning. I know I told y'all last week that little Joseph and I started watching Survivor, and if y'all wanted to get on that kick to join us. Now, we skipped. We haven't watched it in like a week or so. So it's still time to catch up if you want to watch it with us. But I'm thinking maybe I have a couple ideas of what I want to do for next season. But Project Runway has come back. Don't know if y'all have seen it. But I was thinking maybe I could do like a review episode of that. But I know not everyone is watching that. So I was thinking maybe I could do 2 separate episodes. So I could do like a review thing for the podcast, and then also just have regular episodes for people who are interested in Project Runway. Or maybe I could do the review on YouTube. I don't know. I got a little bit of time to figure it out, but we're not going to take a break. We're not going to take a break. We're doing hippity poppity. We had said a hip pop, baby. I'm all over the place. Let me tell you something. I normally film these in the morning. I record these in the morning. I'm recording at night, so I'm like, I'm thrown off. But this has been fun. I like recording at night, but I will be back. So I have a week to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. But if you are not watching Project Runway, oh, it is so good. The first 2 episodes came out last week. Heidi Klum is back. Okay. La Roche, Y'all know La Roach. He's a stylist for a bunch of people. He's really big in the fashion industry, obviously. And he was a judge on, y'all remember that show, Legendary, the ballroom competition show? And he's been a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah, La Roach, he's all that. But man, they are so good. And then who's the other judge? Oh no. Oh, Nina. Nina is back. And then Christian, the first winner of Project Runway, he's there too as like the Tim Gunn. But it is so good. And then they have a Drag Race contestant on there, Utica. If you know the Utica's going by Ethan, by just the boy name, But man, Ethan, aka Utica, already won the first competition and could have won two. But anyways, I ain't gonna spoil it too much for y'all. But if you're watching it, if you have been a fan, if you're on the fence, baby, watch it. And if you want to watch it for free, let me tell you something. Because it's on Hulu, Disney Plus, or whatever. But if y'all want to watch it for free, go to abc.com, or it might be freeform.com. I don't know why I'm whispering, but whatever. If you want to watch it for free, or if you don't have Hulu, you won't sign up for something else, baby, I don't know how long the episodes stay on there. I don't know how long they're going to do it. All I know is I watched the first 2 episodes for free on ABC Freeform. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you need the link, baby, just send me a little message. I'll let you know. I'll send it to you. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, it ain't a secret. Obviously, it ain't nothing illegal, but it's just more fun to whisper like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this has been really great. I gave y'all a little extra time because it's episode 10. You know what I'm saying? We out here popping. We out here putting out content and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I think that about covers it. Yeah. I hope y'all are doing well. Drink plenty of water. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Slow down on the highways. And stop leaving your kids in the car. Okay? It's hot. Stop leaving your pets and kids in the car. Just always check the back seat. I don't know why that keeps happening. I don't want to end on a dark note, but I do want to make a PSA. Get your kids out the car. Okay? I'm tired of seeing that headline in that store. It's too sad. It's too much. I can't take it. I can't handle it. So just, and look in the cars around you, because unfortunately, that's where we are. We're at a point now where we got to step up as a community and make sure that we're okay in more of the ways than one, So anyways, yeah, I'm going to stop. Y'all, I'm gay, around. No, I'm just playing. Anyways, yeah, so thank you so much for listening. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys next week with the start of... Sorry, I'm unlocking the computer while I'm trying to say bye. Y'all, I'm not doing no more episodes at night because Woo! Okay, no, for real. All right, y'all. Shoot. Sorry, I had to do that southern goodbye. You know how you try and go... Oh, my God. Stop, Chanel. Stop. Okay. Love you so much again. Bye!